Obviously being in one place for, so long, you obviously fall in love with the people there in the community. Obviously tough to leave, but, you know, as the off season kind of progressed, you kind of had a feeling and started seeing kind of the writing on the wall of what was going on. So, not a total shocker to let go in the end there, but, obviously extremely excited to be here and my agent kind of just handled all the business side of arriving here, and everything really kind of, just started here in the last couple of days and moved right along pretty quick.
We'll go to Dave Zangaro and then John McMullen.
Hi, Charlie. Have you had a chance to meet Jake Elliott or Braden Mann yet?
Through like joint practices and pre-games in the past, briefly met them and had some quick conversations. Seem like awesome guys, and I know they're very good at doing their job. So excited to get to work with them.
If I can follow up real quick, I know you guys will end up spending a lot of time together. What's your process to kind of come in and meet them and join that group?
Just come in and really get to work and start building that chemistry pretty quickly, and try to hang out off the field and get to know these guys as people as well. So like I said, excited to start that process.
We'll go to John McMullen here and then Ruben Frank.
Hey, Charlie, welcome to Philly. First off, health-wise, are you completely healthy off the rib injury last year?
Yeah, that was in week 5. Broke a few ribs. Obviously, it was a painful couple weeks there, but yeah, within like 4 or 5 weeks of that injury, I was ready to go. So been pretty healthy for a while now, and ready to get back to work.
And real quick you mentioned being part of the community out there. I noticed Andrew Berry used to work here, and when they did move on from you, he had a nice statement about your relationship with the organization and the community. Why do you think you connected so well out there?
Cleveland's just a lot of hardworking people, and I think that just kind of sticks true to my values. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy working hard and trying to kind of be humble and just let my work do the talking for me. So I think I just kind of had a lot in common with that community.
We'll go to Ruben Frank and then Bob Brookover.
Hey, Charlie, welcome to Philly. As far as I can tell, before you ever played a game with the Browns, you got released by the Cowboys, Browns, Chiefs, Jaguars, and Patriots. I might be missing a team or two in there. Going back to 2014, what was that like? What kept you going through all that, and how much of a challenge was it?
Well, extremely challenging. At the same time, I could feel that I was starting to get closer and kind of build momentum towards sticking on with the team. But yeah, I mean, the moving and stuff like that, that's hard. Every time you get cut, it's hard. But it really, at the same time, it built my confidence in the fact that I was starting to see that I was improving, and I was starting to realize, like, I'm good enough and I can do this. So difficult, but also motivating at the same time.
We'll go to Bob Brookover here and then Olivia Reiner.
Welcome to Philly. Do you first question? How did you injure your ribs? And just as a backup, unrelated to that, are you familiar with how I think this team has had 3 long snappers in this century? Are you familiar with the history at all? Obviously, you spent a long time in Cleveland. It's a position where you can have some longevity.
So first question, broke my ribs. It was an accident by actually a teammate. Kind of ran into me. We were both trying to make a tackle at the same time, and it was just a helmet to the ribs. And then, yeah, somewhat familiar with the history of long snappers here. Obviously, I know of John Dornbos. I met him one time before a pregame very quickly. And then I think I've seen him on TV doing like magic tricks and stuff like that. So I know of him pretty well. I wouldn't say I know him well, but yeah, obviously was a great snapper for a long time, as was Rick. Same kind of relationship, met him in pre-games and stuff like that. So, and always thought highly of him and thought he did a really good job.
Thank you.
We'll go to Olivia here and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Charlie, what have your initial impressions been of Michael Clay and his assistants, and how much familiarity, if any, did you have with him before arriving here?
Met him one time at a joint practice again. That's kind of how I've met a lot of people here, I think. But, he's super, seems like a super great guy. Like, very easy to get to know. Seems like he's very straightforward, and I think, you know, I'm pretty familiar with, you know, the systems and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like it's too terribly different from what I'm used to. So excited to get to work with him. You know, seems like he's gonna be a great person to work with.
We'll finish with Ed Kratz here.
Hey, Charlie. I just want to ask you, it always seems long snappers have sort of a unique background in how they got into long snapping. I don't know if you set out to be a long snapper, but what's the little backstory on how you got into being a long snapper?
It was in high school. I started snapping just because, you know, the senior who did it before he graduated. I was a tight end throughout high school. So I did it a little bit in high school, didn't really take it serious. Ended up being a walk-on at UCF as a tight end, and our starting snapper randomly quit like right before training camp started. So it was like a open tryout. And so that was my true freshman year. And there was like 2 or 3 of us that went out for the job, and I ended up getting it, and I wasn't very good at it at the time, but the head coach brought me into his office and just said, "You're a starting snapper and you're not a tight end anymore, and this is all you're going to do." And I was a little bit caught off guard and shocked, but you know, here I am. It worked out. So you know, kind of happy he did that, I guess.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.